The interstellar object known as 3I/Atlas represents a rare and extraordinary opportunity for science, not merely because of its physical characteristics, but because of what it symbolizes for humanity's relationship with the unknown. Traveling into our solar system from interstellar space, this object is unusually large, relatively bright, and follows a trajectory close to the ecliptic plane, the same plane in which the planets orbit the Sun. This fortunate alignment makes it observable for an extended period of time by ground-based telescopes, as well as by cameras and instruments aboard spacecraft that humanity has already placed within this plane. Such accessibility is exceptional for an interstellar visitor and offers scientists a prolonged window to collect data, refine measurements, and test hypotheses that would otherwise remain speculative. Beyond its scientific accessibility, however, 3I/Atlas offers something even more valuable, a chance to rekindle public wonder and inspire the next generation of scientists. Science thrives not on certainty, but on curiosity. The same curiosity that children naturally possess when they ask questions without assuming they already know the answers. One of the great privileges of being a scientist is the ability to preserve that sense of curiosity throughout adulthood, rather than pretending to be an authority who has everything figured out. Encounters with mysterious objects like 3I/Atlas remind us that nature is under no obligation to conform to our expectations, and that genuine discovery often begins with admitting what we do not know. The public excitement surrounding 3I/Atlas reflects this deeper emotional connection to the scientific process. People are drawn to the idea of a blind date with a cosmic visitor, an object whose origin lies beyond our solar system and whose nature is not yet fully understood. This sense of anticipation mirrors the essence of scientific inquiry itself. Science is not a static collection of facts, but a dynamic and evolving detective story. Along the way, scientists propose ideas, test them against evidence, make mistakes, and revise their conclusions. This iterative process is not a weakness of science. It is its greatest strength. It is grounded in humility, the recognition that our current understanding is provisional and subject to change as new data emerge. In this context, discussions about the nature of 3I/Atlas should be understood as part of a legitimate scientific exploration of anomalies. Throughout the history of science, major breakthroughs have often begun with observations that did not fit established paradigms. When such anomalies arise, scientists naturally consider a range of possible interpretations, including unconventional ones, not because they are eager to overturn existing knowledge, but because doing so helps guide the collection of new and decisive evidence. Theoretical ideas serve as tools to sharpen our questions and define what measurements are most critical to obtain. Regarding 3I/Atlas, several anomalous features have been identified, features that differ from what we typically expect of natural rocks or comets. These anomalies have motivated the proposal that one possible explanation, among others, is that the object could be a technological product of an extraterrestrial civilization. This idea is not rooted in sensationalism, but in a sober assessment of what humanity itself has already demonstrated to be possible. We have launched technological artifacts into space, some of which, like the Voyager spacecraft, are destined to traverse interstellar distances. Given that most stars in the Milky Way are billions of years older than the Sun, it is reasonable to consider that other civilizations, if they exist, could have developed advanced technologies long before humanity appeared. In fact, it would take less than 1 billion years for a spacecraft similar to Voyager to cross the entire disk of our galaxy, making the interstellar exchange of technological artifacts a physical possibility rather than a fantasy. This line of reasoning does not assert that 3I/Atlas is definitively extraterrestrial technology. Rather, it emphasizes that science must remain open to all plausible explanations until evidence allows us to rule them out. The goal is not to prove a predetermined conclusion, but to let observations speak for themselves. As more data are collected in the coming weeks, especially around December 19, 2025, when 3I/Atlas makes its closest approach to Earth, scientists expect to gain crucial insights into its composition, structure, and behavior. These observations may ultimately reveal that the object has a natural origin, or they may point towards something more unexpected. Either outcome would be scientifically valuable. Public discourse around this object has also highlighted an important cultural tension. Some influencers portray scientific openness as arrogance or speculation as recklessness. In reality, the opposite is true. The foundation of science is not the arrogance of expertise, but the humility to learn from evidence. True expertise does not mean clinging rigidly to existing beliefs. It means being willing to revise them when confronted with new facts. The willingness to entertain unconventional ideas while demanding rigorous evidence is precisely what has allowed science to progress from ancient myths to modern technology. The widespread public response to 3I/Atlas demonstrates that many people intuitively understand this spirit of inquiry. Messages arriving from around the world express excitement, curiosity, and hope that this object might teach us something profound about our place in the universe. Even the possibility that it could be artificial sparks imagination, not because people crave sensational answers, but because it forces us to confront deep questions. Are we alone? How common is technology in the galaxy? What responsibilities would come with discovering evidence of another civilization? At the same time, there's an underlying awareness that discovery can be unsettling as well as inspiring. The playful remark about hoping that 3I/Atlas does not deliver unwanted gifts for the holidays reflects a human tendency to mix humor with existential curiosity. It acknowledges that while the unknown excites us, it also challenges our sense of control. Yet history shows that confronting the unknown has always been the catalyst for growth. Each time humanity has expanded its cosmic perspective, from realizing that Earth is not the center of the universe to discovering planets around other stars, we have been forced to rethink our assumptions, and we have emerged with a deeper and more resilient understanding of reality. Ultimately, 3I/Atlas is significant not only for what it may turn out to be, but for how it invites both scientists and the public to engage with science as a shared human endeavor. It reminds us that learning is a process, not a proclamation, that curiosity is more powerful than certainty, and that humility is essential when facing a universe that is vast, ancient, and largely unexplored. Whether this interstellar visitor proves to be a natural object or something far more extraordinary, it has already succeeded in one crucial mission: rekindling a sense of wonder and reminding us that the story of discovery is still very much unfolding.